It's no secret that the Nintendo Switch is one of, if not the most popular consoles when it comes to monster taming. Everybody's always asking about the Nintendo Switch. Lots of developers who are creating games for the genre are prioritizing the Switch as their primary console. Now, this makes a lot of sense because if you think about it, Pokemon is on the Switch. A lot of Pokemon fans play monster taming games, and even for those who aren't a fan of Pokemon games on Switch, the Switch is also portable, which is something you would be used to if you were playing Pokemon in the past. That said, in today's video, we will be discussing 8 monster taming games that are slated for release on Nintendo Switch sometime in 2022. For some, we have specific dates, whilst for others, we have only windows to work with. Anyways, make sure to sit back, relax, and let's dive right in. Monster Tribe is a very interesting title on this list as the game features small grid-based battles via its 2x3 square system. Certain attacks will affect certain tiles, and thus you've got to play tactically to gain the advantage. The game also has a heavy emphasis on resource management, and the way you obtain monsters is tied to this as well. Collect various DNA strands and combine them with various treasures and materials you find on your journey in order to expand your team. The story takes us to the island Akama, a magical place where these strange phenomena known as rifts are present, which hold immense magical energy. The game takes place generations after the collapse of an advanced civilization that crumbled due to the death of the relationship between humans and monsters, and it's your job to make sense of it all. There is currently a demo available on Steam. I highly recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun. Another game with the same publishing studio as Monster Tribe is Coromon, a title I'm sure most of you are familiar with at this point, as it's my most anticipated game of the year. Anywho, Coromon is a story-driven monster taming RPG that plays a lot like Pokemon with an aesthetic reminiscent of the 5th generation. The game has its own unique potential system, which combines the idea of having Coromon with good stats and the shiny aspect present within many monster taming games. It's also going to feature online PvP and ranked matchmaking with its roughly 120 available creatures. There's also a cast of fun characters and 6 Titan bosses to defeat in order to maintain peace within the Vuela region. The game is slated for March 31st, and I'm definitely excited for it. Expect lots of content. While we don't have a specific release date or an official window for Temtem, I do think that a 2022 release date is the most logical conclusion to make, and let me explain why. Firstly, the game's main story is now complete. All we're waiting for is post-game features, and that's pretty much it. Once full access launch does come, that means console launch will either be at the same time or shortly after, so hence why it's on this list. That said, if you didn't already know, Temtem is a monster taming MMORPG that takes place on the Airborne Archipelago, a very mysterious world of floating islands where people tame and utilize creatures known as Temtem in double battle styled combat. The combat itself is RNG free and balanced for competitive play. The game also features 8 dojo masters to defeat and an evil organization known as Clan Belsoto that must be vanquished. Again, no release date just yet, so definitely make sure to subscribe to get notified when we do get one, because I'll keep you guys updated. If you're a fan of the Shin Megami Tensei series, I think Eternal Exodus might be something you'd want to check out. This is a pixel art RPG that takes place in what essentially is hell with a few interesting twists. In this world, people can still die, however, immortality was achieved through various experiments. Most people stay alive because of a fear of the unknown, and some can even tame and utilize demons to fight. After your village is ravaged and you're left in hiding, your journey begins to make sense of it all. In terms of gameplay, it's pretty much what you'd expect from an SMT-like title. You have your strategic combat that utilizes push actions, you have your fusion mechanics allowing you to take different demons and create new ones from them, and you have an expansive world to explore. I've said this in the past, however, after playing SMT5, I'm definitely more interested in seeking out more SMT-like games, so this one's definitely got me excited. The Cyrillum franchise as a whole is one of the few reoccurring monster taming titles that we see releasing multiple games, which is great. The latest installment, Cyrillum Ultimate, is the 4th mainline game and takes the Cyrillum formula to the next level by including a roster of over 1,200 monsters that can be summoned and fused together to make unique combinations. Now, what is this Cyrillum formula, you may ask? Well, imagine a game like Dragon Warrior Monsters where you have your hub and your portal that allows you to travel to different realms that are randomly generated, and then these realms consist of hostile monsters to overcome, side quests, and loot. You also have 24 classes for your character and various perks to go alongside them. Each of these will cater towards different playstyles as it pertains to the game's 6-on-6 battles, which are highly complex in their own right. This is just scratching the surface, mind you. So Rune Factory 5 is the 5th installment of the Rune Factory franchise, admittedly being a franchise that I've never actually played myself. The game is listed as being a mix of many things. You have your farming, which you can utilize captured monsters to automate. You have real-time combat and various RPG elements to go alongside that. The game also has an anime aesthetic, as well as a relationship and marriage system. Essentially, the story goes as follows, and I am reading this from the official Switch page. As the newest ranger for the peacekeeping organization Seed, protect the frontier town by rounding up rowdy monsters with your official Seed-issued spell seal. When not on a mission, work with the people of Rigbarth to help the town flourish through farming, festivals, and friendships. As the balance of peace begins to shift, however, it comes a time to prove yourself. Team up with townsfolk and embark on a grand adventure to unravel the mystery befalling the island, embracing your inner power to halt the descent into chaos. Relegend is a game that has undergone several delays, so unfortunately I cannot say with 100% certainty that it will be coming out in 2022. However, the Steam launch does state that it was supposed to come out within the first quarter of this year. It's a similar situation to Temtem, where seemingly it most likely will be coming out this year, but may not. That said, Relegend is a pretty interesting title that mixes monster raising and battling in its own unique way. The game features farming and real-time combat. The way it works is you can deck out your own character whilst utilizing companion monsters in battle. It also features co-op modes where you can basically play with your friends, and it's sort of like Animal Crossing almost mixed with an RPG, if that makes sense. It definitely has a lot of potential, and despite the fact that it has been unfortunately delayed a few times, I'd definitely rather that than the game be buggy or incomplete on launch. Unfortunately, not a whole lot is known about Digimon Survive, and the game has undergone several delays like the game mentioned previously, which means that there is a possibility we may see a delay again. However, Digimon Survive is a tactical RPG where you find yourself trapped within the digital world and must find a way to escape. From the gameplay that has been showcased, we can see that the game has a more anime-themed aesthetic and a plethora of different Digimon to utilize in combat. There is the Digimon digital event going on February 26th, so definitely we could see more information about this game, which I think we will. Hopefully that includes a concrete release date. So if you are watching this after that direct comes out, the release window of just 2022 may have changed. And there you go, guys. Those were all of the games that I could find that were either coming to Switch this year, confirmed, or most likely. I think as a monster taming fan, it is unfortunate for those with PS4 and Xbox because other than Monster Sanctuary being on Game Pass, which is also available on all of their consoles, by the way, there aren't really any exclusives. Whereas with a Nintendo Switch, we see so many monster taming games that are on the way. Coromon, Monster Tribe, tons of games coming out in 2023. A lot of them are only coming to the Switch plus PC. Either way, to those who do own a Nintendo Switch, I do hope that this video acted as a helpful guide in your quest to find upcoming monster taming games for your console. Now, if you are a fan of monster taming and are currently not subscribed to the channel, I highly recommend doing so because I put out new monster taming videos every single day. You could also follow me on Twitter, GymLeaderEd. Check out my Discord, all links below. Special thanks to our patrons, especially Dark Persona, Jim Hamilton, and Steel Case. And with all that, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.